not, and it'll be all right. Um, excuse me, fog in my throat. Let's start with a roll call. Start with you, Russ.
Russ Cooper, District 2. Lance Enham, District 2.
Lane Rose, District 2.
Kate Darlington, District 3.
Cindy Watson, District 1.
Sean Gardner, Planning Department.
Brittany Haney, Planning Department.
Trevor Neal, Code Compliance. Orin Stanbrook, Planning Department.
All right, anyone have any additions to the agenda or corrections they'd like to make? Okay, it looks like there's some meeting minutes to approve from,
I have one
Yeah.
on the last meeting minutes that you guys did approve.
Mhm.
There was an error on it. Kelson had put that Tony was present and absent.
Mm.
But he was
He was absent.
absent.
Yes, he was.
So I will fix that, for the record.
Okay.
Okay, thanks. Looks like we have some more minutes to approve from the May 27th meeting. I was not here, so I can't attest to their accuracy, but did anyone else look at them and?
Mhm. I will make a motion. Yeah, I will make a motion to approve the minutes on May 27th meeting.
Anyone want to second that motion?
Okay.
Russ, seconds, all in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? No. Motion to approve the minutes from May 27, 2026. Passes. All right. Department report.
Well, this will be kind of my last PC. No, it won't be my last PC meeting, but I wanted to have this one so that you could introduce Orin Steinberg, the new director. He could have a chance to meet and talk with him. And then there were a couple of land use code revisions that we could discuss. They're just real simple, last minute ones that have kind of come up recently.
Okay.
And then briefly discuss maybe what the land use code revision adoption process looks like, which you've been through. So,
Mhm.
and then also to mention this June 22nd site plan visit at Shea Road for the rezoning application for the hearing on June 24th.
Has everybody responded to that email about coming to that?
For the.
What do you think you?
I'm gonna try to make it there. I think I can. I think I'll be able to.
I just set Monday, 5:30 PM. It'll be after the packet's posted on the 17th. So
Right.
you'll have an opportunity to at least digest some of the stuff, on paper and then come out and see the site. The owner will be there. There's two owners that are involved. Mr. Pete Edwards owns the primary subject property, but then there's another guy, Todd Herrick, who owns Gunnison River Farms on the Gunnison River down inside the canyon. He has 40 acres up on top of the canyon rim there that he's included into this rezone application.
And that's the one on Shea Road in Austin, right?
Yeah,
And maybe you mentioned this last time and I wasn't here, but is there a reason we're doing a site visit for this?
it's just so extensive. It's
Okay.
380 acres going
Okay.
from A35 to Res 1. Res 1's typically a zoning district for around municipalities where there's sufficient infrastructure.
Yeah.
So there's a lot for him to
Yeah.
approve.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there is substantial infrastructure there. It's one thing to see that stated on paper and maybe
Mm-hmm.
lines but to go out there and kind of see it, I felt like this merited that kind of attention.
Sure.
And Lane, since you don't have email or access to email, this is probably the first time you're hearing about it. Do you want one of us to call to remind you of that site visit?
Sure. First Shea Road, is that right off of Highway 92?
Yeah,
Yep.
right across from Payne Siding,
Yeah,
Yeah,
just before.
where that door and window place is at.
Left-hand side is on the right-hand side, isn't it? The other opposite side?
Yes, that's it.
There's a whole backstory and we'll try to put the staff report together over this next week and there's a lot of information to look at, but essentially he's just applying to rezone. And you need to make a determination based upon there's a page and a half of conditions for rezone.
so is he giving a motorized tour of the place or what?
I don't know, we're gonna have to figure it out. We're gonna bring a vehicle where we can probably pack half the crowd in, and then somebody else could have a vehicle, we can pack the other half in, there will be some rules that we have to kind of abide by, so we don't have kind of ex parte conversations. Anything that gets asked needs to be kind of, recorded, and then we'll bring that all into the public hearing and say, this is what was talked about in our site visit.
Okay.
And he's gonna pair that with a neighborhood meeting too, so that any neighbors that might wanna participate can do that as well.
And we can try to bring a couple of vehicles. We can, because I know we have a Suburban that the county we can grab. Plus we could try to grab another bigger.
I lined us up with the Explorer that's got third row seat, so.
We're taking the jail bus.
And I don't know how far or how much we need to go around the property. This would be something to kind of determine, because I don't want to be there forever, but there's a pump down by the river. It's a long ways down and hard to get to. I don't know if we need to go down and see that or not. And then there's a lot of, the infrastructure's right there near the
To
highway.
bring walking shoes and be ready for those types of
Yeah,
things.
just walking in a dome.
Yeah.
and
Okay,
Thicker.
But I would like to keep it to like an hour,
yeah,
and
That'd be
just
nice.
kinda-
okay.
Here it is, but I think it's worth looking at for sure.
Okay.
All right. What would you like to talk with Orin here and just, have him
Sure.
introduce himself and, yeah.
Hi, welcome.
Thanks.
Yeah, maybe you can just introduce yourself, let us know kind of what your background is, what you're hoping to achieve here, I don't know.
Yeah, it's an opportunity
Yeah.
that, without being in a public hearing first time you need it.
Right. Yeah, my name is Warren Stainbrook. I'm here from Eastern Utah. Carbon County is where Price is, Price, Utah. It's really similar to Delta County in a lot of ways, so we're right at home here. But my background is in architectural design. That's what my bachelor's degree is in. And then I've been a general contractor for about 10 years, and last several years got a little more into some small scale real estate development in Carbon County. So kind of have a well-rounded jack of all trades skill set as it pertains to planning and zoning. I served on Carbon County's Planning and Zoning Commission for the last couple of years as well as our Economic Development Advisory Board. So the last couple of years, just getting more involved in the county and local government, and kind of realized my interest and passion for this kind of work. That led me to do a Master of Public Administration program. And I'm just now finishing that. I've got like 6 weeks left to finish my master's. This was kind of the goal all along, just really wanted to serve in a position like this in local government. And I'm new to this position and this type of work, but the crew here has been super helpful and welcoming and getting me up to speed. And so I'm just trying to learn as much as I can, but there'll be a little bit of a learning curve for me still. So appreciate your patience. That's good to meet you all.
Yeah, thank you.
He's been taking copious notes.
Yeah, it seems so, like, yeah.
Yeah.
So have you dealt with land use code types of issues and easement setbacks, all
Yeah,
that kind of stuff?
A little bit of the contractor and a developer myself, and then a little on the planning commission in Carbon County.
And does Carbon County have a land use code that, you said like in terms of kind of like, as in kind of demographics and economic kind of setup is similar to Delta County? What does the land use code look like kind of compared to ours? Dealing with similar sort of zoning issues and.
Yeah, I'm not too sure. That's one of my homework assignments for this weekend is to read our
Yeah.
land use code here. But just based on what Sean's told me, I feel like, yeah, things are a lot looser here. I don't think we have anything like the situation you have here with a lack of building codes and how new the zoning code is to the county. So things feel a little bit more established and more regulated in part of the land use.
All right.
What's that?
I wondered that.
I think that's kind of the case in every other county in
Yeah.
this country.
Mhm.
But.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Cool.
so, yeah, Orin's been coming along. We went out to that property out on Shea Road. That'll probably be one of the first projects he's really gonna kind of spearhead here. I'm just gonna overlap enough to kind of hand it off to get through the planning commission hearing and then back away. And I'm gonna be sticking around, hopefully here part-time to work on a permit management software system that we got a grant for, but that we just barely got started on. And then we ran into some trouble and we're going through a change order, but I want to see that through because it's associated with the grant. And there's just not a lot of bandwidth to work on that, so it's really appropriate to have somebody be a project manager for just that project. In conjunction with that, I think I'll also help out with all these land use code revisions and amendments that we've been working on for the last year and a half. And I think we're really about ready to go through the public review process for that. And I don't know what it's gonna be like. Do you anticipate it's gonna be hairy or?
Who knows? I mean, always people coming out of the woodworks, but hopefully a lot of that energy got
Diffused.
Yeah.
diffused last time.
That's what I was hoping. See, Everett, I was hoping that too.
It's not full.
So Everett, I saw you up on 3100 as we were heading up to the cabin. How did that, not rave go? I was gonna rendezvous,
Well,
sorry.
quite frankly, he got a good report card.
Good, because I saw you there. There was another sheriff lady that kind of was there and you guys were,
It was a long weekend for me because there were some main points to that particular permit, because it's the first time we've done a 3-day permit.
yeah.
So I kind of thought through this idea, and so therefore I kind of got laid into it, knowing we needed to really see it through, which we're gonna hear some of that tonight, because it did create the need to change some of the special event language. This is kind of a learning curve of what we did, and we need to be prepared to facilitate this more often. But he did a great job of pulling it together very quickly. Because he started off thinking he didn't need a permit because it's an allowed use.
Mhm.
So once we got past that, the land use code provides for the ability to condition it, and therefore I brought in the fire chief and said, what do you want? This is why I don't have any authority. Well, the land use is gonna give you authority because it's gonna be conditioned. What do you want for this event and this kind
Yeah.
of thing? And so fire department jumped right in, got a specific list for, medical tent, helicopter landing pad area, the fire extinguishers, all the clearing and all the setup for the stage. We had a first temporary event emergency access permit was issued for this, because basically the permit would end in 3 days and then he has to remove his connection to the county roadway. But part of the condition was he had to put in emergency access. We had we conditioned it to no fire at all, on top of fire monitoring, had to have a private security company 24 hours a day for the period of the event. So we had constant monitoring for underage people, obviously someone roving, making sure we have no fires. And of course, I was there most of the time for the decibel reading.
Yeah.
Part of it. And we had one anomaly. I don't even know how to explain how it happened, because I'm not a sound wave expert, because that's all I can think of is some voodoo took place where I had 8 to 10 decibel range change to a property quarter mile down the road. So I was taking all my readings on the event lines, property lines, all good, keeping it in there, and got a complaint. It was just there. So I went back and did my readings again. I don't get it. So I went down to the end of where the driveway was. Sure enough, it had raised 10 decibels at that point.
Boy, it's
No way. But he was really good about that too, because then I went back and forth. I took the batteries out of the meter. I thought, I don't understand it. I'm checking everything. We ended up getting a radio that he handed me that was, another guy was by the DJ stand. And we just communicated with radio, get the decibels down. And then we actually he said, let's just cut the music. Let's just stop. And I was standing in the driveway and with no music and everything shut down. It was still reading, I think it was 48 decibels with no music.
Wow.
So I had to go out in the middle of the road because there's crickets or whatever. And it just was one of those, and it was further away than the readings I took on the property lines. But other than that.
Well, you had an applicant that was very forthcoming with wanting to work with you. I think that's what made it.
Once we
good
broke
as well.
that barrier, this is also why I'm making changes. Where we go into this, anytime someone sees allowed, they immediately think they don't need anything. And we had to get past that
Mhm.
misunderstanding. And then he was on it and they pulled it together. I didn't think they could because we really conditioned it.
Hmm.
Because it was already one prior. And I went to a neighborhood meeting with 35 angry neighbors and almost went to pits cop,
What kind of event was it?
a rave.
Oh,
So
really?
all box canned disco, not disco. I'm saying disco for your age, but same idea. So.
Oh, she's right.
It was disco. But yeah, they actually did really good.
Yeah, they had tents set up. I mean, we had to go up and down that road a couple of times, go to get some things at the hardware store.
They ended up having to have we put a requirement of 6,700 gallons of water on site
Yeah,
with sanitary serving purposes. Fire mitigation plan, noise mitigation plan, parking plan. They had people monitoring the entrance because we required monitoring for age
Mm.
and identification. Because again, this is a particular kind of event. For some of us who've been in the business, this kind of event has a certain kind of thing that takes place, and we were concerned about underage consumption and
sure.
stuff like that, and they had to have a medical team there for in case someone overdid it. And plus, we were concerned about the heat. But no, it really went off, and they only had one complaint.
Awesome. Well, thanks for that report. That was good to hear.
That's a very positive.
Yeah, that was good to hear.
An event that really.
Were you
was,
here for that one? Yeah,
No.
thanks. That's what I thought you were missed. Yeah.
Strongly objected to, so thanks a lot. I
Yeah.
think you did a great job on that. And I don't think that guy would have pulled it off without his partner. Partner kind of, when you put the plan together.
Cool.
Well, look, we don't have a lot to discuss. We don't have
No.
to be here a long time, but there are just two more kind of revisions that we're setting up here. And as I understand it, yes,
I'm gonna go off of the
Oh, sure, yeah.
as I understand it, once we kind of put our thumbprint on this,